Shang-Chi, which is set to come out very soon. It looks that it may, in terms of its anticipation. I want to be clear. That does not mean that it will happen. But in terms of its anticipation, it looks like it is going to be the worst opening weekend ever for a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. As documented by my man John Trent. Big shout out to John F. Trent. Box office tracking website Box Office Pro. You've heard a lot of people talk about that. Predicted earlier this month that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is only expected to have an opening weekend of 35 million and 55. If this prediction holds, Shang-Chi will have the worst opening weekend in Marvel Cinematic Universe ever. The current holder of that title is Universal's The Incredible Hulk, starring Edward Norton. That was released back in 2008. So including inflation, that would be a $70.2 million in 2021 dollars. Box Office Pro predicts the film will earn 100 million and 165 million, or between that, looking at the top end. If Shang-Chi earns 165 million, the only film it would best would be The Incredible Hulk, which grossed 134.8 million in the domestic box office. However, again, if you factor inflation, it gets beat by The Incredible Hulk's gross dollars in today's monies. So this is what they're going to run with again, huh? As for why Shang-Chi's opening and total gross numbers are so poor, the Box Office Pro claims that one of the main factors is a rise in severe cases and hospitalizations among unvaccinated population. Stop. Just stop. Fucking stop. Stop. Like, they'll never come to terms with either they're putting out products that people aren't interested in, or that there's been a shift in how people approach these movies, right? We've seen before, of course, them have success with more like obscure characters. We saw that with Guardians of the Galaxy, characters that people didn't really know about that did decent in the box office. I personally think it's a combination of a lot of different things. I'm not saying that in it long can't be factored into it, because I guess in some ways that you can. But that's Hollywood's own doing it. That's their own doing if we concede that is an actual point. Right. So even if I accepted it as true, who are lining up to lecture people about staying at home and the dangers of the virus and wearing a mask, everybody? It was Hollywood. It was Hollywood. Hollywood did that. Oh, wait, you didn't factor that? You didn't factor that in, huh? That when you were leading all these people to believe that we needed to do all of this, maybe they wouldn't show up to your fucking movie, huh? You fucked yourself. Congratulations. But I do think that's part of it. But I also think the enthusiasm is just not there anymore. With certain movies, such as Spider-Man, the kind of the outliers, yeah, they're going to do well. I imagine those are going to do well. But you're bringing out characters nobody really asked for. Shang-Chi probably shouldn't have got his own movie. That doesn't mean he shouldn't have been introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He probably shouldn't have got his own movie. We saw what happened with Black Widow, unfortunately. And it looks like the writing's on the wall with the Eternals as well. There's shit nobody's really interested in. You're appealing to a demographic of weirdos that are just flaky. And that, to me, is more telling than anything. See, checking boxes, and I'm not saying that, well, no, I can't say that, because that's all the fucking lead actor, whatever his damn name is, that's all he's ever been leading with. Oh, look at me, I'm Asian. All right, congratulations. We've seen Asians in martial arts movies before. You ain't the first, and you certainly won't be the fucking last. I don't know, it was a whole fucking craze happening in the 70s and the 80s. You're not doing anything special. But when you lead with that type of stuff, yeah, it can turn people off. It's like, is the movie even good? Remember, we had that segment that we covered where you had all the compilation of all those like reviews, right? And half of them aren't even saying if the movie's any good. It's, wow, this is going to be a big for representation and diversity in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But is the movie any fucking good? Is the movie any good? I mean, is it? I don't know. So they painted themselves in a corner. And Victoria Alonso, Kevin Feige, that was the whole reason why they said they used the internals for diversity purposes. That's their focus. I think that's part of it as well, just the lack of enthusiasm. But also, you're seeing with movies what you see with sports right now. Sports having the same problem. Where the more people are removed from that, the less people are enthusiastic about it. And you have to kind of try to get people back enthusiastic about the product, right? I say that like with me in basketball and rather than NBA. You know, I talk about the NBA all the time. I watched it all the time. And then I went a year where I didn't really watch it because the product sucked. And then you couple that with like the whole social justice shit that they did last season. More I was away from it, the more I was like, oh, this ain't so bad. This ain't so fucking bad. And I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. It's like, okay, well, you got to get me back enthusiastic into going to see your movies. And unfortunately, the demographic of regular people isn't what Marvel is trying to trend to. And that's not to say that the movie's shit. I'm not saying that. But it's like the Birds of Prey thing. Birds of Prey wasn't the wokest movie ever, believe it or not. Yeah, there's tokenization and the criminal depiction of Cassandra Cain. But it wasn't like uber woke, right? It was just not that good. But they did for sure promote it as if that was what it was going to be. You had Ewan McGregor. You had him talking about, oh, this is a movie tackling misogyny and all of this other shit that nobody's interested in. See, when you lead with that sort of stuff, you turn people off on your product, man. When you're telling people my product is not even about it being good, it's about what social statement I can make. People look at that and they say, some people will be interested in that, but that the people that are interested in that are flaky. They're just simply not that enthusiastic about it, or rather they do it in spurts, right? And yeah, sometimes they'll come out and you can sometimes hit it big, man, get $1 billion film out of it. And then other times your shits are dud because they're simply not that reliable. They're not that reliable. So, will Shang-Chi be the worst MCU movie in terms of box office performance? Not actual movie itself, but box office performance, we'll see. But that ain't going to be good. If it is, that ain't going to be good.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.